Right, so this is called the Hun Yuan Qigong set. It's referred to as the Wudang exercises in the book. And it's a series of 8 exercises. Some of them you've seen before. The first one is pulling down the heavens. So this will be a review. Pulling down the heavens, standing from a Wuji posture. Your hands come up. Inhale. Exhale down. Pulling down the heavens is usually practiced in a set of 3. Inhale up. Exhale down. Pulling down the heavens can be modified in several ways. It can be cleansing or tonifying. And what you're doing is, as the hands come up, you're gathering earth chi as the palms face the earth. Palms turn up, gather heaven chi, collecting both, washing down through the body from head to toe. Visualize the chi cleansing the tissues all the way through the feet into the ground. Again, this would be done 3 times. So this would be a cleansing or a purging. Now you can make pulling down the heavens tonifying. So if you want to make it tonifying, you would inhale up, gather earth chi, gather heaven chi, bring the chi down through the Tai Chi pole and into the lower Dantian. You do this 3 times. Inhale up, exhale down. So pulling down the heavens. Pulling down the heavens is often used as a transition exercise. So if you're teaching Qigong to students and you're holding a class and you want to transition between exercises, this can be a good little transition exercise in between sets. So you can just do this, it's 3 times. And you can modify pulling down the heavens, like I said, to make it custom, tailor it to your needs or the patient's needs. So that's pulling down the heavens. Next we're going to do rolling the ball. Rolling the ball, you start by shaking your hands briskly. And then you raise the hands up to the heavens. And with the left hand, you gather the energy of the sun. So visualize the energy of the sun collecting in the left hand, creating an energy ball of yang energy, of sunlight and warmth. And then in the right hand, you'll collect the energy of the moon, the yin energy of the moon. Once you collect both energy balls of the sun and the moon, you'll bring them together in front of the chest as the energy balls merge. In between your palms, in front of your chest, just slightly above the middle dantian. And when you want to drop the left hand to the lower dantian and begin rolling in a clockwise from your body downward. So it would be top hand coming out and down, bottom hand coming up. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what it looks like. So you're rolling, the energy between your palms rolls and becomes like a taffy as you rotate and circulate the energies forward. So this helps regulate yin and yang energy, and this would mimic the fire cycle of the microcosmic orbit. So it helps reinforce the microcosmic orbit. So you normally do this 18 times. And what you want to do is pick one hand, because you can't run both energies with both palms. So the left hand would be the dominant or guide hand, and then the right hand is just following. So the left hand now is guiding energy up the spine and then down the front. And the other hand is opposite on the clock. One is at 6, one is at 12. One is at 9, one is at 3. After 18 times, you would return back to this position and you'd rotate it in the opposite direction. And you use the right hand this time as the guide. So this would be running the water cycle down the spine, up the front. Down the spine, up the front. Again, you do this 18 times. After 18 times, stop, bring the hands together, root the energy back down to the lower dantian. I'll face forward. Next one is opening and closing the 3 burners. So you want to start at the upper burner. So just as a refresher, the upper jiao or the upper burner is the upper chest, the lungs and heart. The middle burner is the spleen, stomach, liver, gallbladder, middle jiao. And then the lower jiao is the lower abdomen, which would be the reproductive organs, the intestines, and kidneys. Okay? So we'll start at the upper jiao, up close to the throat. And what we're going to do is imagining an energy ball growing in the upper chest, inside the body, nourishing, filling, healing, tonifying the upper jiao. And then we're going to reach our fingers in to the body and purge outward. Exhaling, opening, and then closing, bringing in divine white healing light into the upper jiao, bringing the energy in, tonifying, strengthening. Exhale, purge, pull out steam, heat, and toxins from the chest. Inhale, divine white healing light. Feel your fingers digging into the tissues, sinking in like taffy, and then exhale, pulling and purging outward, cleansing, releasing, purging. Inhale in, exhale out. So we're opening and cleansing each burner, purging, tonifying for 9 breaths. On the last one, you'll inhale divine white healing light, seal, fill, tonify, and then we'll bring the hands down to the middle jiao. Feel the healing light inside the body, filling the middle jiao, and we'll then exhale and release as we purge steam, heat, and toxins. Inhale, divine white healing light into the organs, the middle jiao, purging out excess. So often the question in class is, can I treat myself? Can I do Qigong treatments on myself? The answer is generally no. You want to do prescription exercises to perform your intended goal. But this is the closest thing to what I would call a Qigong treatment. You're reaching into your own body and purging out, bringing in divine white healing light. Exhale, steam, heat, toxins, toxicity, emotions. Inhale, push in the divine healing light as it fills the middle jiao. Exhale, pull out steam, heat, toxins. Do this 9 times. Last time, bring the energy in. Close and then bring down to the lower jiao. So the jiaos are different than the dantians. They're not the same. The jiao separates the 3 cavities in the chest, whereas the upper dantian is in the head, middle dantian is at the heart, lower dantian is at the navel. So we're now in the lower jiao, which is kidneys, bladder, reproductive organs, below the belly button. feeling the divine white healing light fill the area. Then we'll exhale and purge, pulling out steam, heat, toxins. Inhale in, exhale out. Really visualizing the light coming into the body. So whatever disease you have, whatever organ is affected, just imagine the divine white light filling, tonifying, strengthening, healing the area. Inhale in. And then as you exhale, imagine dredging and pulling out any turbid energy or sickness or disease, and just let it go. Inhale and exhale. So this can be a great tool for purging toxicity when you're cleansing, or anything from cancers to gallstones, kidney stones. Just visualize that divine white light filling the area, dissolving, strengthening, breaking apart, and then exhale and purge, pulling out the toxicity and turbid energy. Sometimes I'll shake my hands as you bring them out. Inhale in to close. And that's how you close the exercise, opening and closing the 3 burners. Next is the sun and moon rotating technique. We start by, again, shaking the hands briskly, clapping, bringing a lot of warmth and energy into the hands. Getting them nice and warm. Then we place them on the chest. So this exercise is for tonifying, strengthening the lungs and the heart. And you're going to start by moving up the center of the chest and rubbing the warm palms on the chest, bringing them up and outward, down. So circular motion up the center and down the sides. Feeling the heat and energy from your palms radiating into the tissues, nourishing the heart and the lungs. You can do this physical touch, but you can also do it energetically if that's more comfortable. So away from the body, like so. Feeling, and if you're not touching the body, you're just imagining the chi sink into the tissues, strengthening, tonifying. So you do this 18 times, then you stop and you reverse it in the other direction, outward and down. And after 18 times, you then stop, allow the chi to sink in as you complete the sun and moon rotating technique. Next is the expanding and contracting the rings. So from this posture, your back foot is going to be turned out like so, and then the front foot will be pointed forward. And expanding and contracting the rings refer to the vertebrae in the spine. So you're rippling the spine. That's the purpose of this. And this also reinforces the microcosmic orbit, as you'll see. So we're going to draw energy up from the earth, bringing it up the back leg, run it through the orbit and down. That's the visualization. The movement looks like so. So you start by gathering chi, drawing it up from the earth, up the back of the leg, up the spine and over the head. The hand motion is just a circular motion. So the hands are just doing this, okay? And your visualization is what I just mentioned. So hands come up. And then you can see my spine rippling. So you're lifting up, you're reaching as the spine moves. And that's why we stand in this position, so we can get good footing and balance. As opposed to if you're standing like this, with both feet standing forward, you might lose balance. So this gives you a little more stability. So you do 9 times, and then we step. Nine times, and then we step. If you have a big room like this to work in, you can just walk and do this for 5, 10, 20 minutes. If you have a small area to practice in, you can just change your footing, like so, if you don't have room to take steps and walk. So you just repeat, and you'd step 9 times each time, and eventually rooting it back to the lower dantian. Take a moment to let the chi settle. The next exercise is called ascending the yin and descending the yang. So this exercise is specifically good for a lot of reproductive issues, women's issues, regulating the lower jiao, the kidneys, liver, and it looks like this. There's 2 ways to do ascending the yin and descending the yang. So what we're doing is we're drawing up earth energy up the inside yin aspect of the legs and then back down the yang aspects. So we do this during our treatment protocols. Looks like this. Gather earth chi, inhale up the yin to the lower dantian, around the waist, down the outer yang aspect of the legs. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale, gather chi up into the lower dantian, around the belt vessel, down the waist, outside gallbladder channels, yang channels of the legs. Inhale up, exhale down. If you want to change it from a tonification to a purging, it can look like this. So you're inhaling earth chi up, dredging the lower jiao, exhale down, and release. Inhale up, tonify, exhale down, and purge. Finish at the lower dantian. So ascend the yin and descend the yang can also be done another way. You can go up single leg and then down the opposite outer leg, yang. So it'll look like this. Draw the earth energy up, inhale the yin, turn, exhale yang. Inhale up the yin, left, and then down the right yang. Inhale yin, exhale yang. This adds a turning of the waist. You're rotating and turning, which activates the belt vessel, good for reproduction and strengthening the waist and kidneys and lower dantian chi. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up to the lower dantian and close. Next one is turning and winding the belt vessel. I do have a separate video on YouTube on my channel for nourishing the belt vessel, and this is one of the exercises. So it looks like this. From a Wuji posture, you reach out to the left, gather earth chi, pull into your palms, absorb into the Mingmen, cross the waist and belt vessel, turn to the side, inhale, gather earth chi, exhale, absorb, inhale, gather, exhale, absorb. So this helps tonify and regulate the belt vessel, strengthening the belt vessel. People with prolapse or sagging organs or back problems, this is very beneficial to do this for 5, 10, 15 minutes. After 9 times, we root the chi to the lower dantian, and then we'll repeat the process on the other side. So then we'll turn out to the right, gather, absorb, gather, absorb, gather. And we'll do that 9 times. After 9 times, root it to the lower dantian. So that's called the turning and winding the belt vessel small cycle. So there's also a large cycle, and it would look like this. Step out, turning the toes outward slightly can help ease the pressure on the knees a little bit. So instead of wuji, you're going to turn out a little bit, and you're going to reach out to the left, and it's just a broader winding circle. That way you're getting the advantage of turning the waist, activating the belt vessel even more. So this would be an example, as we talked about Qigong prescriptions, this would be more dynamic, more active. So you're engaging the physical body more. So you'd gather, then you'd root, and then you'd have them do the other side, reaching out. Again, you could do 9 times. Finally rooting to the lower dantian, back to wuji. And then you'd finish collecting the chi in the lower dantian. Looks like so. It's just basically a rooting exercise. You know how we always root the chi to the lower dantian. It's just another way to root chi to the lower dantian. It looks like this. Gather with the right hand, draw into the lower dantian, gather with the left, collect the chi. It's called collecting the chi and return to the source. Collect the chi, return to the lower dantian, our reservoir of chi. You can do this 9 to 18 times. Eventually rooting the chi back to the lower dantian. Allow the chi to settle. And that completes the set. Questions?